All right, Shalom. I'd like to give all honor, praise, and glory unto my power, Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Honors to the elders I'm under, Elder Sekalah, Elder Yahweh Call. Peace, blessings, and protection to the men, women, and children who's currently waiting for the return of our Adawan power, which is 1/3 of our nation. All right, which is a very large number because, as it says, Israel is as the sand of the sea. And just an update concerning World War III. And the title of this, I guess, is I'll just call it "The Beast Shall Hate the Whore." All right. We're just going to get right into it. It says the European nations debate a return to conscription amid Trump turnaround on Russia. All right, and let me do this. Let me just go into the word conscription. Conscript. All right. Compulsory enlistment for state service, typically into the armed forces. All right. That's a simple definition. Conscription, often referred to as the draft, is the compulsory enrollment of individuals, usually for military service, mandated by a government or state. And why would they do that? Because of a threat of war. All right, and this is Europe. All right, and let me read the subtitle: Spurred by the war in Ukraine and the prospect of U.S. disengagement. All right, European countries are debating a return to compulsory military service to counter Russian expansionism. All right, Russian expansionism, because they soon predict that Ukraine is about to go down. All right, Ukraine is about to pretty much be destroyed, and while this is happening, Trump pretty much told NATO that he's backing out, which a huge portion of expenses towards NATO comes from Babylon. All right, so they're in a tight, sort of a tight place. All right, so this is why they're conscripting, because they believe that Russia is going to make their way over, especially into because Poland, Sweden, there's a lot of European countries that's right at the doorstep, at the border of Russia. So they pretty much believe that the next step is for the Russian president to go right into Europe. It says Sweden and Latvia reintroduced conscription after the Russian seizure of Crimea and invasion of Ukraine, and some say the rest of Europe should follow suit. So all these nations are on high alert. It says Russian invasion of Ukraine caught Europe off guard, and fears about the strength of the NATO alliance rose further after U.S. President Donald Trump cast doubt on his commitment to Article 5, all right, its mutual defense clause, all right, which the article pretty much means attack on one is an attack on all right. They formed, NATO was formed after World War II, all right, for the benefit of protection, all right, against other foreign nations, but mainly Russia. All right, it says it's mutual defense, despite Washington have used it to marshal European support in the wake of 9/11. It was the first and only time that Article 5 has ever been invoked. The U.S. president shift towards a more conciliatory approach to the Kremlin has also set off alarm bells, with the United States twice siding with Russia last month in votes on Ukraine at the UN. Both military analysts and European governments acknowledge that the threat of Russian aggression is real, today even more so than 3 years ago. The Russian military today is larger and better than on February 24, 2022. The Russians have hostile intent against the Baltic states and the EU's eastern flank. And Alexander Berlikov, a researcher at the Institute of Political Science in Heidelberg University. All right, so if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, but there are some some joint operations going on between U.S. and I can't remember who it is, around the Baltic region. All right, but maybe I miss saw that, but I believe that they're doing some joint operations now. So all these things are heating up. All right, it says according to the study of the Berlikov co-authored for the Bruegel think tank and the Kiel Institute, Europe could need 300,000 more troops to deter Russian aggression, in addition to its 1.47 million active duty military personnel. Now, mind you, right? I'm just thinking, they've it's wild, man. They've allowed, just thinking as a man on this point, they've allowed all these immigrants to come in to these particular countries. You got a lot of immigrants flooded into Europe for the past 4 years, especially after COVID. Same here, with the borders being open. So they can pretty much conscript. They can pretty much conscript these people and possibly send them to war. I don't know how this is going to play out, but just that part speaking as a man. But it says conscription will have to play a role in such a large number of troops, he said. All right, from Paris to Warsaw, leaders have been looking to boost defense spending and the U.S. threats to withdraw its European security guarantees. So let me just go into the scriptures, all right, and let me read this last part. But many countries, including France and Britain, have struggled with recruiting and retaining troops, reintroducing some form of national service, compulsory or voluntary, or might be even more difficult. So and it goes kind of along the lines what I was just thinking, all right, because people are not these people are through in the mind, man. They're not even, farthest thing from their mind is war, but in any event, we'll see what that leads to. But let's just go right into the scriptures, because I have a few that I want to get. This is concerning. This is the book of Jeremiah, 50 and 12. Let me start 11. Jeremiah 50:11. Because you were glad, because you rejoiced, O ye destroyers of mine heritage. All right, who is the Lord's heritage? You so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Because you are grown fat as a heifer at the grass and bellows as bulls. All right, this place has become it pretty much became a superpower off the backs of you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, slavery, slave labor, and many other things, man. All right, just being exploited here. All right, but it says, verse 12, it says, your mother shall be sore confounded, and she that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. What does that mean? Your mother shall be sore confounded, because if you look at the history, pretty much America is an offshoot of Europe. All right, pretty much. You have I can't go right really into the history exactly, but all right, the mother of this place is Europe. All right, if you go into the history, now she's sore confounded. All right, she's because pretty much if you have birthed this place, and now pretty much America is pulling out and leaving you pretty much on the island. All right, defend for yourself. All right, and she that bare you shall be ashamed. All right, it says, behold, the hindermost of the nations. All right, the hindermost, because this is one of the youngest nations. All right, shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. All right, this place is going to be destroyed with nuclear fire. All right, but thus saith the Lord. All right. This is Revelation chapter 17 and verse 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh. All right, and shall burn her with fire. All right, the 10 horns. All right, which is NATO, all right, and the EU. Verse 17, for the Most High put it into their hearts to fulfill His will and to agree and to give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. So all nations are going to fire missiles on this place, all right, and it's going to be destroyed. So we're seeing that, all right. We're seeing the agitation of Babylon the Great upon all these other nations. This is Isaiah chapter 42 and 13. The Lord shall go forth as a mighty man. He shall stir up jealousy like a man of war. He shall cry, yea, roar. He shall prevail against his enemies. So it ain't gonna be no peace treaties, all right. No making America great again, all right. The Lord is stirring up war, all right. Let me go to, and then this is the last one. All right, it's just a short update. All right, Isaiah 46 and 10, declaring the end from the beginning. All right, because this was prophesied. All right, this was prophesied that this place was going to be destroyed and that the Lord's people was going to be delivered. All right, out of this captivity in which we're close to the end now, and we're seeing. We're in the stages of World War III, and it's only a matter of time. And I'm thinking as well, a lot of people have been, even just this, I call them war analysts or people are saying that something is going to happen over there in Iran soon, which look like they're bombing Syria again as well. So they want to clear that area out. So all of this different instability and theaters of war, all right, is stirring up, all right, and it's only just going to increase. So let me read that again. Declaring the end from the beginning, and from the ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. This is the Lord's pleasure, all right. Pretty much to destroy this wicked this wicked place, Babylon the Great, and all right, and deliver His people. So this is just an update of on World War III. All right, and Lord willing, He cut the time short, and we be out of here. So with that, hey, I'd like to give all honor, praise, and glory to my power Yahweh, Baruch Shem Yahweh Shai, and with that, Shalom.